Hello and welcome. Today I just wanted to work on this image here. It's from Digital Angels AI. It's an Etsy store. And I really like the lighting on this, and I thought the pose was cool. I usually don't mess around with images that have the teeth showing because it's a non-winning game when you have teeth exposed in an image and you touch them or mess with them in any way, unless you're really advanced. It's a lot of gray scale, cool grays and stuff like that, and to get that to work out, it usually goes sour. So I usually avoid it just because it's aggravating and frustrating. But today we're just gonna go ahead and do a little bit more of a challenge. I'm gonna try to stay away from them. But I basically, I just got a new set of pencils that I purchased from Michael's. It was the Faber-Castell. It's the skin tones. Ooh, I left one in the box. But I played around with them a little bit on the image, and I really enjoyed working with them. They were really good. They took to the paper well. I was able to stay light, which is my style, just going real light, not trying to make any big statements or anything at the beginning, and it really allowed me to do everything that I normally would do. But I haven't retired my Prismacolor pencils, of course, because they're my favorite all around pencil. And these three right here, the cream, the light peach, and the peach, really get me through a lot. And also my dark, that's the dark umber. We don't mess with that one too much. The dark brown. So this is a pencil that is a must. Gotta have it. So if you look, now all we need to do is get a blue, which is always my electric blue. Love it. And a yellow. Now, my yellows, I do two things. This is my yellow. It's the Deco yellow, and it has a lot of white mixed in already. So I really like to go in first with it and play around and find some of my areas I want the yellow in. And the other one is this 916 yellow. I don't remember the name of it, but it's the really 100% yellow without any whites or anything, no oranges in it, just straight out yellow. And then of course my red, and I don't remember the name of this red. It's the 923 red. It's all been scrubbed away, whatever it said, and I don't really put a lot of this in memory. It's just a cool red that I like. So, and I base these three colors off of my color wheel. The reason I like them so much is because they really match up to the blue, the red, the yellow that's on there. So with these three as my primary colors, I get away with a lot. So I don't need to go searching for this blue or that blue. I've got my blue, I've got my red. I don't need to go searching for some funky red that's got whatever in it. I got my red, I got my yellow. Now, a quick lesson also I wanted to state is if you look at your printer, when you add your ink, usually you add three colors, and that red that you add to your printer is a magenta, and it's a lot different than, let me see, I have magenta right here. So this is the magenta pencil here, and it's good to use. I do like to use it here and there, but for the basics that we're doing, we're not going to worry too much about it. So let's get into this picture. Now I've already done this picture, and I guess I could show where I'm going. So this is kind of where we're going. We're gonna achieve this level today. It's a little bit more advanced than we've done before in the past videos, other than the Viking guy. But this is, we're getting into that more delicate, more female face. We're not trying to put a bunch of, dots and stuff all over and squiggly lines like we did with the Viking. This right here, we're gonna try to stay smooth and creamy as we can. So it's a little bit more of a technique geared toward the people that draw the circles and do all that blending and stuff. So with that said, we're going to step into it. So I'm just pulling you a little closer to a little bit more advanced than we've done in the past. So, but we're still using basics. We've got to have our basics down. If you haven't learned the basics, then go back to some of my other skin videos and stuff like that, or video. I haven't put out a bunch of videos yet. I got like 11, I think. But what we're going to do is we're going to start out with what we already know we can do. And we're not messing around with something new, but these are awesome. Like 10 bucks at Michael's, so I was really happy. So I'm going to go ahead and start picking out some of my highlights. Now, if you'll notice when we did this, I put in these extra colors here, and just to give it, just take another step that we haven't done yet. But forget about those for now. Let's just get our skin tone basics done, and then we'll move from there. So I'm just coming in and start picking out these highlighted areas. This thing really sharp, sharpen them pencils. And I'm just gonna come in and start picking out some of these. And I'm not bouncing around, usually I work really loose and I bounce. But right now I'm just gonna kind of, because this image is so much closer to you. When you're working with an image that's pushed back more, something like this right here, this skin tone here, it's pushed back more. So I would bounce around. But as the image gets closer, this is like a medium here that I've done. As they get closer to you, you start spending more time in these areas and not bouncing around so much. Now we're like really close, all the way up to a portrait look. So we're just going to, if you want to bounce, you can, but I'm just going to kind of doing a little circular motions, just trying to lay down some color. And what you're going to watch out at this stage is if you do this and back and forth, you're going to leave. Let me get a dark pencil so I can show this. Let's say you're cruising along light. When you stop and you take back off, you'll have these dark spots here and here, and then as you go, these dark spots will accumulate and you'll never get rid of this pattern. So what you do is you work more in a circular motion to where you don't ever get that stop, move back, this kind of feel to it. So you're working to keep it smooth, and you can overlap these enough eventually. And everywhere you see me mess up, see that one line's darker? That's because I went like this and popped it back down versus keeping my circular motion. So it doesn't matter how far out you make these circles. If you're doing that area, just stay within there and try to stay consistent. But see, as I go back and forth, messing it up. So we want to try to avoid that as much as possible. So I'm just going in, getting my circular motions going. You can tighten these circles up. This isn't a hand, this isn't really as much a hand movement as it is this part of your arm doing this, rocking this. This is going round and round. This part of your arm, your forearm, is really the one that's making the action. So that's why my table's always shaking. So I'm using this. This is sitting down. The fleshy tissue is on the air and there, and that gives you room to work. I know this may be going into too much, detail or whatever, but I'm just trying to explain some of the movements that you see here. You're not seeing what's going on over on the other side and up in my shoulder. This isn't this. I'm not moving my like this. I'm doing a little bit just so that with the two combined, I'm not stopping and staying in one area. So we're just coming in and finding these light areas now. Like I always say, let's let that grayscale talk to us. We're gonna use, this is grayscale. So we're gonna utilize it. We're gonna lean into the grayscale. And as we advance more and more into this image, we'll start to push this grayscale away from us. and really get into these areas. Now we know it's going to be a blue. We're going to be putting this blue in there, but look, see how this is in there. See that cream that's in there? Go ahead and keep that going, because this is a makeup that's been put on, and so it's over her flesh, and maybe in some areas it's not consistent, and it's a little bit more realistic and gives you a little bit more value. You can see in some of these areas where I messed up. You can see the dark lines where I pulled too much and I left it. So now there is a way to get rid of that, and that is to come in with like your blender. You can come in with this blender pencil and blend those areas, or you can get like a little stomp, the little paper stomp, and blend through those areas. But we'll use those skills later on. Right now, we don't. I'm trying not to get too focused on really advanced. I'm trying to really reach out to the people that are just getting into this or getting back into this after a while of being away from it. And they just want to get in and start making some cool stuff, doing some images with some basic skills. And the fundamentals that we're dealing with are something that everybody's using. These basic skills that we have, even the most advanced colorists out there they can't abandon these skills that we're teaching here. I'm showing here. They have to use them too. So it's something that's got to be in your toolbox. And that's how I look at different skills and techniques. There's, pretend you've got this virtual toolbox that you're learning skills, and you're putting them in that toolbox. And when you're doing an image, you can look at your toolbox and say, oh, you know what, I can pull this skill out of that box and I can apply it to this picture. And that's like this, the blue and the yellow and the red, keeping that's a skill. Have that in your toolbox, because being able to understand those primary colors is so important. There we go. We're not going to mess too much down below here. It's a really cool image, but it gets so busy and more advanced that that's not what we're really trying to focus on here. We're just trying to pull through this one here. So let's go ahead and go over to our next color, which is our light peach. I'm gonna pull it down, hugging some of these. We're gonna hug. That was a little too much pressure. But it always happens when I get down these little stubbies, which I have probably 10 of these, not even sharpened yet. But you just get a feel for a pencil and just like it. Don't let him go yet. I don't know why oh, I know what it is. I'm gonna adjust my camera because that's touching the table, which is causing it to rock back and forth. There we go. Let's try that. There we go. Start getting dizzy. So we're kind of hugging these where these light areas are. I can start out in these dark areas and pull that, pull it up into the light areas. And getting lighter, kind of give it some pressure in this area, get that color going, and then lightly come out of it. There we go. There we go. Not doing anything. Not being too artistic and not really trying to worry about I'm trying to worry about trying to blend this or anything yet. We don't want that back and forth motion. If you see me doing this, I'm usually down, pick it up, move it down. So that's this. But as you speed it up, it may look like I'm just swiping back and forth, but I'm not. Try to always avoid that if you can. There we go. Now this is still our mid-tone color. This isn't our dark yet. We don't need to do any more over there. I'm a page turner, as everybody knows, so I'm gonna do some page turning here. It's still kind of the exploratory phase of it, where we're still exploring the page and pointing out some shadows and stuff like that. Like that. It's getting smaller. Alright, so we're there. Now we're going to go to our peach, which is our darkest color. And I'm just going to pull down through some of these areas here. Go ahead and cover this here. I'm going to leave some of that, or some brightness up here. So we're going to come in with this yellow. Too much back and forth going on. I need to move my page and get some actual circles going. Add some more of this in. Okay, so I think if you were, if you were new to coloring, you could have just, so you could be done with this as far as like moving on to different parts of the image just by these three colors. So you can see where you get with these colors. Now, you would obviously come back in and redefine some of your lights and push this back up into these darker areas. Say like this area here. Go ahead and bring this color back in and blend it better. And you will start to do some of, not too advanced skills, but some of these basics. Start just bringing these brighter and brighter and brighter. Over here. There we go. So I think another good step now is to go ahead and start doing some of this, some of the lips here, and bringing out and defining some areas here, which are these darkest ones here, 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 here. Doing lips sometimes is like doing a piece of linen or thick cloth that, that has a lot of lines in it, like this right here. So you don't have to be true to every one of those dark lines, but just the way that they're moving, the way that they're pointing and stuff. Try to be true to that at least. Try to stay out of them teeth. There we go. I'm going to take a more of a pinky color. I'll take this pink rose. Come in and just kind of glaze over all these other areas. We're just trying to define what it is, get some color on it. I'm not trying to make any major statements or just having these two together. Lets us view the image a little better. There's more to do in this area on the lips, but we're just going to get something there. That's good for now. So we've got that basics done. Now we're gonna look at, the eyes don't have a lot of, they're very dark eyes. So I think what I would do, and because I did not do them on the other image, I would probably come in with this yellow. And because I printed this out in the black and white, it's a grayscale image, but you can either print it out in black in white, or you can print out in color. I'm sorry, I printed out in color. Because I did that, there's a lot more blues to the black, to the dark areas. So going in with a yellow, we'll see how it turns it really green. But look, it's not yellow anymore, just because of that darkness has a lot of blue in it. So when you're using these colors, it's good to know that that's going to happen. You're going to get more into that green. It's going to push toward the green versus staying a true yellow, because it's going to mix and blend with what's there, which is a blue or black ink. So it's good just by coming and touching it with that. Now I'm going to take, excuse me, I don't know what's wrong with my throat today. Just went through hurricane number 2. I live in Florida, so today is the next day after the storm. It just blew through and went out into the Atlantic. So start putting our colors into these areas here. There we go. No, like before, no major statements or anything like that. We're going to follow through with this right here. Comes up this image here. Just getting some color on there. There. Come down to this little Nike looking swoop or whatever they call it. There we go. That's going to come up and play into this area, but let's go ahead and pull the rest of this up. So that's going to go in back behind that hair and come out up here. We're going to take it all the way up and we're going to create a line right about here to there. We can come like that, kind of round it off. Now we're going to bring this in. Go very light. There we go. Let's go ahead and pull this one on across. There we go. Let's grab our electric blue. And let's trace out through these. Now, some people might be thinking, well, you showed us the new Faber-Castell black color, the black pencil skin tones, but you haven't used them. That's well, I haven't really needed to yet. This is going to come in here and go up and around like that. Kind of glazing it through there very lightly. Apply a little bit more pressure right here. Now follow that line and then take it up. A little more pressure in these dark areas. Not a lot. I really like this coming in like this. How about that? Get this little triangle. Cool. Yeah, I thought about taking this up and going around. I think it would add some to it. I think it would be cool, but I don't see any defining lines that would make this. I know I could just draw it, but you know, it'd probably be a circle, something like that. And I could bring that blue up and around. All right. I'll show you what we've done so far. Taken basically 5, 6 colors here, and that pink that I used, that rose. Oh, that's definitely peach. But anyway, so all the roses there. So basically, we've taken these colors and come in and we brought it this far just by doing the basics. All right, now we're going to pull these skin tones here. I really like this one here. This is 802 Faber-Castell. There's something there. Can't really make it out. I don't know. It says something anyway. But so we're gonna find these lighter ones. So it's more, and start thinking about what's in these colors, each one of them. So we've got some orange going on here. Got some really dark magenta, like pink, leaning in the heavy blues and yellows in there in that color. This has got some really yellows here, not much orange. So it's got a little orange mixed in there. So these are brighter, more fleshy here. Let's get more tannish color here. So we're gonna take this one right here, I think this 802. And we're gonna explore with it a little bit. It's not really a cream. If you see, it's leaning the other way from that cream. Oops, sorry. If you look at that cream color, see, it's more of a fleshy tone than the cream. So we probably want to kind of hug our cream just to see what it's going to do for us. Plus we're working with a new pencil, so we don't really know. So this is more like our light peach is what it is. So it's in those areas. So we've already got our light peach. I don't think we need to introduce another light peach in here. Let's jump out of that one. Let's move toward a little bit more pinky. This is the 03. So this is more like our peach. So we've already got that. So don't really have to have this one. So where it really comes through are these darker areas. So this is the 787. So we're gonna bring this up here and see what happens. Oh yeah, we're getting some red. Now we're putting blood underneath the skin, you know, making it look more alive. See the difference? A lot more vibrancy. And that's basically what you're doing is you're making it, you know, if you look at skin tones, there's a lot of like, there's a lot of your coloration is coming from just the blood that's in your vessels in your arm. See how much more vibrancy we're getting out of this. So this is definitely a color to add to the your flesh tones and your little toolbox there. You know, add this in because it's pretty awesome. I think it's worth it. I'm not trying to make this a review or anything of these pencils. I'm just, you know, exploring out with something new. Thought I would share it. I didn't think that I would like the the triangular shape of these pencils, but actually it really gives you three edges to work off of. As one gets kind of dull, you just do that little flip and you've got another edge that's sharp, and it's kind of self-sharpening as it goes. How about that, huh? Really cool. Not as smooth and creamy as the Prismacolor, so I haven't quite got it down yet to where I'm not leaving some definite textured lines in the on the paper. So it's a new challenge I've got to work through and get real smooth with these pencils. I definitely want to keep them close to me. I've been enjoying. I've seen the Faber-Castell black set, and I was like, well, really don't need it. But I was at Michael's picking up my Prismacolor, getting some replacements, and they had them on the end of the aisle. And I was like, you know what? Let's give it a try. $10. I'll see what happens. And I'm glad that I did. A really cool pencil. I think they're on par with like the Black Widows, which I do love. I love my Black Widow pencils. I like doing my zombie pictures with Black Widows. I see something funny. Is that sorry. I actually have the Pro set of the Faber-Castell Polychromos, but I'm using the black. That's so funny. I find that just hilarious. I'm using their cheapos. Ooh. Ooh, I kind of wish I was using the other set now, because it's not as creamy. It's not going down the same. You really got to keep turning, it's kind of staying in a spot to really get some good coverage, but then you chance going too bold of a statement. So I'm gonna hold off right there for right now because it's getting not where I want it. But that can all be dealt with. The blenders and stuff like that, or you can just simply come back through with the better quality pencil. Kind of use it as a blender, kind of blend some of the color out of there. Kind of where this is right now, the values aren't correct. As you notice, it's got that it's too patchy looking. There's not a lot of blending that went on. So what you want to do is just start pulling out of that. Let's take this O2 here, kind of start pulling some of that through. When you're blending like I'm doing here, don't just bring your darks into the lighter tones. Push back into those. Take this light color back into that dark area and give it a good once over. That's how you blend really, is to push that lighter color up into that dark, and you're going to grab some of that dark and mix it in and fill up some of the tooth of the paper as you're going. Get all up in here. This is kind of not pressing so hard that I'm burnishing it. I'm leaving myself some room to come back into the tooth of my paper. So I can still come in there. And spend some time in these areas. That's why you're going light. To get the effect that you want, you want to spend time doing it. You want to really come in and move around that area, because when you're coloring that tooth of the paper is only going to take, my speed that I'm going and inconsistent pressure here and there, eventually, if you stay with it, you'll push everything down to the same tone and to the same consistency as far as laying down the color. Because when we were working with like that cream, we didn't want this to be cream. We wanted to mix it. And I've talked about this on other videos. It's not that color that we're working with. So don't think you're messing up your cream. It's like, oh, I put that cream down, now I'm doing this, it's going to mess up my cream. You were never trying to make it cream. That wasn't the goal. The goal was to get to this, to where you're blending it in. You're getting a more consistent color variation that's moving away from that cream. It's really tempting to give her like a Santa Claus nose, a little red, come in, little red nose. Very tempting. Let's see how much we can blend in here and get rid of some of these lines. So unprofessional. I need to tighten the legs up on this table. This joker is, it's a wiggler, isn't it? That table's a wiggler. Look how blue that looks right there. That's why I love to print this out in color. It's just, I love that blue. I think it adds so much to flesh, have blues in your image. Just some cool areas here. It's a place for your eyes to take a rest is in the cool areas. Just blending. We're doing some blending. It's like the first video I ever really promoted blending. Usually I'm like, don't worry about it. Just keep moving. Bounce around. Here we're really taking our time. Really thinking of those spheres that people are working on all the time. But again, all this means nothing. If you don't have your values correct. If you can't do the lights and the darks, then it's gonna fall apart. I'm just telling you, learn your values. Darks and lights. Because this light area means nothing without that dark. Having that dark. And that's not dark enough yet. Excuse me, I don't know what's going on in my throat this morning. Just haven't had enough sweet tea this morning. That's what it is. Ooh, going this direction is really nice because you see I was over here like ooh, you get in there and crosshatch over some of this stuff. Look at that color singing out of that area right there. Really nice. I really like these pencils. I'm gonna go ahead and order the full set because this is fun to me. This is what's fun. It's got something new in my hand and just trying to seeing if I can bend it to my will, you know what I'm saying? Or is it gonna beat me up, you know? I did buy the I bought the Amazon Basic colored pencil set. It's like $12 for, I don't know, 48 or something like that. Ridiculously low price, and they were great. I had one of my family members over and they wanted to get into coloring. I was like, I had no problem giving them to them and saying, hey, just take these pencils here. I printed them out some pictures. Take these pencils, take these pictures, and go enjoy yourself and see if you like it or not, you know. So it's like a really cool. You can just gift it to people, you know. Just have a set on hand. I've also done that with the Black Widow pencils. People come over and are like, oh, I'd really like to get into this. This is pretty cool. It's like, here, take this. It's like a $20 set of pencils, but, you know, it's you're going to enjoy them. I would definitely take the Black Widows over the Amazon Basics, but Black Widow pencils are awesome. But you could take them, line them all up. The polychromos, that's what all I have. I've got the Derwit, Chroma Flow, I think that's what they're called. I've got most of the expensive stuff, basically is what I call it. But hands down, any day of the week, you can line them up and say, hey dude, you can only have one set of pencils. You're going on a trip for 6 months and you're not going to have any other pencils around. What are you going to take? You know what? It would be right here. Boom. It would be my Prismacolors, these pencils right here, because I do just about every picture with just these basic. If you go back and look at the pictures that I've done, and that's basically, I'm using these pencils right here and just a little bit extra color. You know, something, these are polychromos, which I don't like now that I've tried to do this image, and I was like, I don't really care for them. I'm gonna go back and do this for a video though. I want to do this for because the awesome image has nothing to do with the image. It's the pencils. I'm not that good with the Faber-Castell, the whatever the Chromaflow, whatever they are. Yeah, Faber-Castell. Polychromos, that's what it's called. See, I don't even know the names of them. Yeah, it's just not my pick. Yeah, polychroma. A great pencil, no doubt. It's just not my thing. I really like these. Really starting to like these right here. That wasn't the color we were using. We were getting into this darker color. Yeah. Oh, we were using that to blend, weren't we? Yeah, we were blending some of this stuff. This has been a rambling video. I'm just rambling on about stuff, but hey, it works. I put so many lines in this. Oh my god, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. But I'm not too worried about it. So, new pencil. little tighter circles get rid of all that. So I'm just moving too fast. I'm not worried about I'm not trying to impress anybody with the outcome of this. I'm just trying to show different color mixtures and stuff like that. It's not really how to achieve great blending skills. That's your job. You can worry about that. That is your desert to cross. There we go. Just gonna lightly come in with this. Bring it up. Anybody knows me knows I'm going to break out my dark brown here very soon and go to town. So let's look at this. Get a sharp dark brown. Got it. Yeah. I gotta wipe this off. My sharpener's throwing out some. Maybe that's just this pencil's got a lot of flakiness to it or something. Oops. So I'm just gonna go. This is where the values come in. This is what's going to make or break it. I don't care about all those lines and stuff I've created. This is where the image starts to come together. I'm just not having a good day. Too many lines. See how much better it looks when you darken it. Take it to that next level. Don't be scared. Get right in there. Let's just pop right here. Your brights look brighter now. Take it to a little bit more of advanced look. So now let's take our yellow. We're gonna come in and be very bold. Yeah. There we go. Mix it into our dark browns here. Yeah. I love it. That's fun. Go ahead and take our electric blue. Finding some brilliant areas. Which will be hugging leave the light. It'll be hugging those dark areas where the dark and the light come together. I'm just gonna glaze over one tone just to add some blue in there. Yeah, more vibrant, huh? See how we're doing now? Now we're coloring. Everything else was just kind of definitions. Hug those dark areas. Get into them. There we go. See, we let some brilliance in there. Kind of glaze over just a little bit more. Yeah. Yeah, we got bold. I like it. I like it a lot, but still the values are not 100% correct here. I need more. Make those brights stand out a little more. Add some darks in. This here needs to be darkened again. Gosh, I don't know why I keep doing lines today. It's so bad. I have my good days and bad days, I guess. Everybody does. I went a little too dark. This is when you're just playing, you know? We're just playing. We're just playing around. It's not we can't fix if we come in with a lighter color here. Try to play into that a little bit. Tone it down, tone it down. Like be the adult in the room. You kids, settle down. Cool. I want some of this in here. All right, I think I'm gonna stop this video here. This wasn't a video on, I don't want to mess around too much with the lips. It's pretty basic. Your red, stay in the dark. Oh, I get, see, that's why I don't do teeth. I don't, ooh. Because, see, out here in the other world, if I zoom across and I do something red that I don't like, then I'll go back and get my green, and I would come in and I would kick it back with the green. You know, green will erase that red. But now you got green teeth, so you really can't do it. Now you could take your, you know, and try to get in there, your electric eraser. But I'm not too worried about it right now. I'll just come along here with this darker red. If you're, I mean, if you can go ahead and tackle it, if you want to do the ones that have the teeth showing, go ahead. But I think you'll be better off as a beginner, because that's who I'm gearing most of these videos to, is the beginners. And just try to avoid those. You know, if you print it out and set it aside and work on them, that's one thing. You know, that's cool. But see, I just blew into there. I'm one of those people that I color outside the lines. I never stay in. I do more of a gesture type coloring. I'm not trying to be precise and technical too much. I just throw color at an image, see where it falls, and then I clean it all up. That's kind of how I do it. But there's no cleanup when you run red across a tooth like that. I mean, there is, but it's not something I'm going to sit here and waste my time on this video doing. Yeah, a little bit more. Normally I wouldn't if I was dealing with fairies and wild creatures and stuff. I probably wouldn't mess around too much with the I wouldn't mess around with the red lips because they're more of a nature creature. I sit here and say I'm not going to do something, and I sit here and just do what I just contradicting myself. So I don't care. It's just, might as well have gone this far. mange on lips. Pretty much what happens when you don't have your values correct. Not too worried about it there. I would, of course, you know, dark brown it. Oh, them teeth. Ugh. All right. Oh, shit, it had red on it. That's why you hold the tape. I don't know if you can see that, but it's horrible. But anyway, this is basically what I wanted to get to on this video. Y'all have a good day.